Welcome to the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. This is episode 110. Can you believe that? I'm Chad.
I'm Dale.
On this episode, we're going to talk some things like not nearly good enough. It might be Groundhog Day. Hutch is back. Hutch is brutal. Where are the big boys? Jason Spezza. What the fuck, Nick Ritchie? Seriously. Keefe's heated post-game interview, a very fragile Mitch Marner, all the right things being said, all the wrong things being done, Wafflegate 2.0, and just basically, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? And we even have a little hot take we might get into. If things continue down this road, could Dubas be fired by Christmas? We're going to talk about all that right now on the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast.
One thing I think he forgot to mention there was, this is a total fucking shit show.
Also, before we start, I'd just like to say thank you for listening. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram at the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. Check out our YouTube channel at the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. Hit like, hit subscribe. We now have a Patreon page. You can go to patreon.com/the Tip In podcast. And if you want to donate to the podcast, even as little as a cup of coffee, just to help us out so that we can keep the podcast going with more frequent episodes and better sounding recordings, that would be greatly appreciated. But let's get into the episode. The week was, the Leafs played the Rangers on Monday, had a long break, a little Halloween party, and then played back-to-back with the San Jose Sharks at 6 o'clock on Friday. And then the game that everybody is talking about today, they played the Pittsburgh Penguins last night. Where do you want to start, Dale? Where do you want to start?
I don't know. Do we start with the Pittsburgh game and backtrack, or do we start with the Rangers game and go forward? Probably go from best to worst here, maybe.
Yeah, we'll go back to Monday night. They played the Rangers. I thought they played a hell of a game.
Pretty solid game. Not bad.
Hot goalie. Effort. It went to overtime. It was super exciting. And honestly, after the Ranger game, I thought, okay, they got beat by a hot goalie, but the floodgates are going to open. This team's looking good.
Yeah, but they outshot the Rangers 41-23. They were all over. Matthews' first game back, he was buzzing.
Oh, it's huge.
He did everything but score. They looked pretty good. The Rangers goalie, can't pronounce his name for the life of me. If you want to give it a shot, go for it.
We'll just call him Ranger goalie.
He stole it. He was incredible. He looked really good. The Rangers looked like, hey, they've drafted and developed a good young goalie. Fucking wouldn't that be nice? But, here's the thing. Bunting gets the lone Leafs goal. They lose 2-1 in overtime. The overtime was fucking chaotic and crazy. Could have went either way. 0 for 3 on the power play. Okay? The Leafs. 0 for 3 on the power play. But, yeah, okay. Probably should have won that game, but they didn't. So what do you take away from that game, really? I felt okay coming out of that game. Like, okay, they got a point. They looked pretty good. They should have won, but lost it in overtime.
Yeah, whatever. That's exactly what I thought. I think that's how most people felt. They looked so good that you didn't really care that they lost. You were like, okay, got beat by a hot goalie. It happens. And then you look at the schedule ahead and you're like, San Jose coming here Friday night, 6 o'clock start, which is even harder for San Jose, who's going to be on the second of a back-to-back, their third game in 4 nights. This is being set up for the floodgates to open and the big boys to get going, the Leafs to win a game and get going on a roll here. But that's not exactly what happened.
Well, Jesus Christ, man. Like you said, the Sharks coming off a back-to-back, I think 3 games in 4 nights. Like you said, the Leafs haven't played since Monday, 3 days off. So here we go in the Sharks game on Friday.
And it was a 6 o'clock start, which 6 o'clock an hour may not seem like a hell of a lot, but I'm sure San Jose was pretty tired to get going at 6 o'clock.
No doubt. Like, yeah, they were in Ottawa the night before. That's a hop, skip, and a jump down the fucking highway, but it's not like, still. The Leafs had 3 days off, okay? No, like, they should have been the fresher team and what have you. And like, okay, we got a
start.
Well, we got a Michael Hutchinson sighting. Okay. So like right away, Hutch just didn't have it, but the team didn't play fucking well either. So it ended up the Leafs lose. What was it? 5-3 ended up being the final. They got lit up in the fucking second period. This was the beginning of the shit show, but I wasn't as frustrated with it. Like Kasha ended up getting that nice breakaway goal, and Spezza, we'll get to him, and Tavares had one kind of go off his arm or whatever. It wasn't really a shot, but so Spezza and Kasha gets his first as a Leaf, but they outshot the Sharks 33-31 and 0 for 2 on the power play. So 0 for 3 on the power play against the Rangers, 0 for 2 on the power play against the Sharks. And I don't know, like I didn't see a lot of things that I loved in this game. I just sloppy all over the place. I don't know. What did you like? Did you come out of this game thinking like, oh, bad puck luck and blah, blah, blah?
No. This was the beginning of me getting pissed because I watched that game and the first 10 minutes, it was the sort of the story of the season. Not this season. This goes back last year, the year before.
It's the story of the fucking team.
You have San Jose coming in. They're going to be tired. They're going to be 80%. That's what they're going to give you. They're going to give you what they have, and it's not going to be 100%.
Yeah.
You should take it to them. The shot should be 10-1 Toronto after 10 minutes. It's the opposite. Every fucking day, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
They're getting outshot, and then what happens? They fall behind the 8 ball, and they give up the first goal. And then they start playing. Then they're like, oh, shit, we better start skating and trying.
If the other team, whoever the Leafs are playing, gives about an 80% effort, most nights that's good enough to beat the Leafs.
Yeah,
because the Leafs come nowhere near 100% effort, like ever. I can't recall really the last time I saw that. It's been a long fucking time.
Yeah,
like they are dogging it all over the fucking place, all over the fucking place, dogging it. They don't have it, man. That is my conclusion. We haven't even got to the Pittsburgh game yet.
Oh, and we're gonna get off the San Jose game because really everyone wants to know. They went in Saturday with basically Pittsburgh missing an entire top line. 5 superstar players not in the lineup.
They were missing Pittsburgh. 4 forwards: Carter, Crosby, Malkin, Rust,
and Letang.
We're all out. So
you have like basically a top unit. So Rodriguez,
that's like their top power play right there.
Evan Rodriguez, if you remember quickly as a Maple Leaf in a trade, he was the number 1 center to start that game. Their number 1 center was Evan Rodriguez. We had Austin Matthews, John Tavares. If you looked at this on paper, I don't even know what the odds were in Vegas on this game or on Proline or whatever, but it had to be heavy Toronto to win this game. Plus you had Jack Campbell in net. Hutch blew it in the San Jose game. He was fucking terrible. I don't want to see Hutch in the net again.
Yeah. Well, we will.
And what happened? 10 minutes into this game in Pittsburgh, they're getting outshot 9-3. They're getting outshot 9-3, and they're down 1-0. What the fuck happened? What is happening, man?
I would like to know, but I would just sum it up as it's not nearly good enough. What the product on the ice is not nearly good enough, but they just look so fucking out to lunch, man. They just do not have it. These guys, like, I literally do not understand how you go in to Pittsburgh like you're a National Hockey League fucking team. You say all these things about we're going to learn our lesson and blah, blah, blah. No, like, stop fucking talking. Don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to hear we're going to learn from this. And we're going to fuck that shit. These guys haven't learned dick, and they're not going to learn fucking dick. That's the conclusion I've drawn to this. Is it not? What else is there?
Absolutely. They just don't care. That's what it looks like. Like, I'm sure they want to win. Professional athletes want to win,
but it doesn't look like it.
I don't know what it is.
We'll get to Mitch later, but my God, man, that guy looks like a guy that wants to win.
No, that guy looks lost, man. He looks lost, and
he's not skating. He's not doing anything that he used to fucking do. He just looks like a shell of himself. It's insane.
Oh, it's crazy. And basically this whole season, since game 1, they have gotten all their production, and any points that they have in the bank have been provided by the bottom 6 forwards.
Yeah. And
led by Jason Spezza, who tied the game up 1-1 last night.
That's right. He had a bad giveaway to start the third, but whatever. Yeah, he had the lone goal in the 7-1 fucking shit show loss to the Pittsburgh Penguins. But look, Campbell didn't have a great game, and that's fine. But no one else had a fucking good game either. And like without Campbell holding them in the first couple games, are we looking at a 1-5 record right now? Like their record is 2-3-1, but like
Dude, you could be looking at 0-6. Everyone's talking about Montreal because they came out of the gate 0-5. The Leafs are very, very close to that. Like, 2-3-1 is not great.
No, it's brutal. 2-4, basically, like you said. Like they got the point in the Rangers game, but anyway,
it's a loss. Look, they've won 2, they've lost 4.
So in the Pittsburgh game, again, they end up losing 7-1. They
just ridiculously outworked.
Oh, God. The shots ended up being Pittsburgh 33, Toronto 29. And here we go again. The Leafs 0 for 3 on the power play. So on Monday night, 0 for 3 against the Rangers on the power play. Against the Sharks on Friday, 0 for 2 on the power play. Last night against Pittsburgh, 0 for 3. So here we go, 0 for 8. And all didn't have a power play sniff all fucking week. All week. So they come a possible of 6 points. They get 1. They get 8 power plays. They don't even get a fucking sniff on the power play. Everything that was rearing its head last season as to like, this is a big problem. This is a big problem. It's clearly nothing has fucking changed. The power play fucking sucks. The big guys aren't fucking pulling their weight at all. They're like, I don't know, like a lot of blame to go around here, but it's like, the list goes on and on. Okay, Matthews, he's played 2 games. He missed training camp. Okay, I'll give him a bit of a pass for now. Marner, no, I'm sorry. I'm almost done with this guy, Chad. I'm almost done. Like I was the biggest Mitch fucking guy, and I know it's only 6 games in, but like you said, it's not 6 games.
This goes back to last season. This goes back to the playoffs and the playoffs before that. And this is a guy who, to me, is showing he has zero mental toughness. Like,
oh my God,
things have gotten tough and he's gotten going.
Not a lot of physical toughness either.
No, he gets pushed off the puck very easily.
The guy won't fucking make a play to take a hit. Like he won't do it. I'm okay. Look, this team is becoming very unlikable because I used to be so high on these guys thinking they're going to win the cup. And like, this is the best group I've seen here. And they're just becoming super unlikable. And Mitch Marner is leading the way because I'm sorry, you bring it back to the contract, what have you. $11 million, and this is what we're fucking seeing from this guy? No, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. And if you go through any comments online, we'll get to his post-game interview later, but it's the negativity surrounding Mitch Marner right now is fucking loud, man. He's loud.
He's definitely, and there is a lot of justification behind it. There's a lot of justification on why this guy should be taking the heat. The contract is huge. The play does not live up to it, but he's also become kind of a scapegoat and a whipping boy for Leaf fans. So, but it's all piling on at the same time. It's just crazy. But you know what I was thinking? At the start of the season, couple games in, these guys are worried about what they wear to the game coming in. We want to dress down. We don't want to dress up. We want to.
Dude, that's Austin. That's Austin Matthews. That's Austin Matthews. Okay, but
that's what the team wants. When you're playing like this, you should not be thinking about shit like that. That it shouldn't even be an issue, right? But of course, they get granted it because.
But that's not the reason why they're losing.
No, it's not the reason. But what I mean is, they were allowed to do it. Like management was like, "Yo, go ahead." These guys get everything they want, everything they ask for, the contract they want, the money they want, the term they want, the coach they want, the clothes they want to wear. They get yes. And then it's like, can you come out and work and start on time?
No. I hear you.
You said Kyle Dubas up in the booth last night looked like he was just fucking. His head was going to explode.
Oh, I can't imagine. I can't imagine what's
he's put all his eggs in that basket. These are my guys. I'm going to live and die by these guys, and they are fucking.
And he's gonna die by them. That's what's going to happen here. Because I'm telling you right now, I know it's 6 games in. I don't give a shit. This team does not have it. Clear as fucking day. It is as clear as fucking day. This team does not fucking have it. I don't care. You can't beat an AHL fucking Pittsburgh team on a Saturday night. Not only you can't beat them, but you get fucking embarrassed 7-1. That's not a sign of there was barely any. They quit in that game. They quit. There wasn't even an attempt to fucking come back.
100%.
So
100%.
That's.
And Craig Simpson was saying it during the game. I thought Craig Simpson did a great job summing up that game last night. But he was talking about how they basically, those 2 quick goals went in and they went down 3-1. And instead of rallying, they just quit. They just gave up. And then they started getting lazy. They took 4 offensive zone penalties?
I think
4.
So. And including Mitch Marner fucking taking one too. Like when it rains, it pours for Mitch. Like I want to feel bad for Mitch, but I don't. Because
is it because of the comments that he made?
Well, he doesn't own it. It's not just last night. It was after the playoff loss. It's like there's no accountability from this guy. Okay, we'll get to. I want to play the clips. One of them will be the post game of Mitch Marner after the Pittsburgh loss. One of them will be the post game of Jake Muzzin after the Pittsburgh loss. Also, the post game of Sheldon Keefe after the San Jose loss. Maybe we won't play the full clips, just a piece of each, whatever. But I'm sorry, man. Okay, Mitch Marner. There's no accountability, none, zero, nothing. He actually says, I don't have it in front of me right now, but we'll play the audio so people can hear it. But he literally says, nothing to be concerned about here. No, I'm not making that up. He's like, I don't see a reason to be concerned.
All right, well, let's play the audio. Let's play the audio of Mitch right now, and then we'll get into it.
I don't think we can be concerned. We're still early in the season. Obviously, this is not what we wanted, but obviously, day off tomorrow in Carolina, fresh page. Just make sure, we go over what we did wrong tonight. We know a lot of things we did wrong. We got to make sure we're covering each other, helping each other out there. We didn't do a very good job of that tonight, so just got to make sure, we get ready for Carolina. It's obviously a good team over there. Got to make sure we bounce back.
How would you describe the confidence level of the group the past couple of days?
I think we're always confident. We're controlling the puck well. It's just we got to make sure we get guys inside. Defensively wise, we got to cover each other better. When we do get rolling in the O-zone, forward wise, we got to make sure we're covering those D-man. We like play with our D-man active in that play, and when that happens, we got to make sure we're helping each other out, covering each other, like I just was kind of talking about. And like I said, day off tomorrow, so just make sure we're refreshing, doing what we need to do, and be ready for a good team in Carolina.
This guy is fucking delusional. Like, I understand trying to keep a positive attitude and like, let's not fucking like, what's he going to say? I would much rather, I don't want to hear that bullshit. I don't want to hear, we did some good things and blah, blah, blah. You fucking got your fucking asses handed to you 7-1 by an AHL team. No need to be concerned. Get the fuck out of here, Mitch Marner. Seriously, are you fucking kidding me? This guy pisses me. If he would come out and own it, just fucking own it. I have not been good enough. Going back to last year in the playoffs, I was not good enough. I have not started to my potential. I need to be way better. How about fucking try that for once?
And call it what it is.
Call it what it is, but that's not what he's doing.
Don't come out and say, we did a lot of good things and we just got to stick to the process and the puck's got to go in. It's the same shit every game over and over. Why not come out and be like the next clip we're going to hear in Jake Muzzin, who basically says, this was an embarrassment. We got outworked by an AHL team. Everybody's got to be better. This was embarrassing. But let's play Muzzin's clip and then we can talk about the two.
Obviously not good enough. We come out a little slow. We get our game going. We give up a few, and we let them take over, and we have no fight. We got outworked, outcompeted. So we got to go back to the drawing board.
How do you, acknowledging that, what do you do next? Like, how do you get over this?
Well, you learn from it. We understand it's very hard to win in this league, and we're going to have to work a lot harder to win.
How do you explain getting outworked after what happened last night against San Jose?
Yeah, it's inexcusable. It's myself, everyone, we all need to be better.
What did they do right? Was it just the speed going to the net?
They did a lot of things right, and it started with outworking us. And that just fueled them, and they were quick in their zone, quick in neutral. They're winning puck battles, and They outplayed us.
Look,
Like that's to me sounds like a guy who's basically saying, "Wake up, boys."
Well, here's the difference. You've got Jake Muzzin, who has won a Stanley Cup. And let's be crystal clear here. Jake Muzzin hasn't exactly been killing it here either. He's had a fucking shit start. So is Justin Hall. So is Morgan Riley. The list goes fucking on and on.
I know, but Muzzin didn't come out and say, I think I'm playing well. We just need to stick to the course.
That's
he came out and said, we're getting our butts whooped.
That's the difference. And yeah, he comes out and he owns it. He says actually what the fans are thinking and what the team really is thinking. Unless Mitch Marner is completely fucking delusional and he thinks like he's working hard, it's just he's being snake bitten, or he's not skating. I haven't seen him have a quality fucking scoring chance all year. He's not dishing the puck like he fucking used to be. He looks nothing like Mitch Marner. He looks like a completely different player. And that's one thing.
He can't make up his mind on the ice.
No, he can't make up his mind.
He can't make up, am I going to pass? Am I going to shoot? Who am I going to pass to? Normally, this guy's got eyes in the back of his head. He sees the passing lane so crisp and clean. Nowhere near that.
You know what he's on pace for? You know what he's on pace for right now?
He's on pace for what?
Like 13 points?
3 points?
He's on pace for less than 20 points.
Yeah.
I'm being serious.
And I hope that turns around. I hope that's not the case. But
what if it doesn't?
That's the scary point. What if these guys all regress at the same time? What if Austin Matthews takes a step back? What if Mitch Marner takes a step back? What if Jonathan Tavares' age catches up to him, takes a step back?
Which looks like it's happening.
Yeah. Then what do you do with this core that you're locked into?
Morgan Riley?
You've lost Zach Hyman. You've lost Connor Brown. You've lost Kapanen. You've lost Johnson. You've lost all these good pieces you had around because you had to pay these guys their money.
I know. Does Morgan Riley look like his best years are ahead of him or behind him?
Well, he hasn't looked good this year.
Behind him, I would say. No, I know, but more like the thought of even contemplating bringing Morgan Riley back, forget. I'm trading Morgan Riley. Like, okay, am I cashing this in after 6 games? No, but there is not any little tiny minute part of me that thinks this team is going anywhere this season. And as a matter of fact, I'm leaning closer and closer to this team doesn't make the playoffs.
Look at the Blackhawks right now, man. Seth Jones looks like one of the worst defensemen in the league, and they gave him that big contract. And now that you're stuck with it, like no one's going to take it. You can't trade him. If they do that with Riley, if they somehow get rid of more, pieces on the side to free up some money to give Riley a big contract, and then he starts digressing and playing worse.
No.
What do you do?
No, I'm not. I'm basically over Morgan Riley. This is the thing. Going back to what I said earlier.
Do you break up the core though, man? Do you break up the core to fill in do you break up the core to get a better backup goalie? Do you break up the core to bring in a defenseman?
Here's why I break up the core. I break up the core because they're not fucking good enough. And you're not going to win with these guys. I'm drawing these conclusions the more and more I see them play.
Yeah.
How many playoff losses? The Columbus loss in the bubble, like just the way their mentality overall, they're not going to fucking win. End of story, period. It's not going to happen. No. So if you're not going to win a Stanley Cup, like, let's be serious here. Are they beating the Florida Panthers in a 7-game series? No, they're fucking not.
No, they're not.
I'm sorry. They're not going to fucking do that. So
are they going to win 4 rounds in the playoffs?
Not a goddamn fucking chance. They'll be lucky to make the playoffs. I think they're scratching at a wild card at best here. I really believe that.
Well, where they are right now, unless they can turn this ship around.
Unless Mrazek comes back and he kills it, and Campbell, like, unless the goaltending is like fucking Vezina level and they just keep them like in the hunt. I mean, okay, is Austin eventually going to score? Sure. Does Mitch snap out of this? I don't fucking know. How many times have we talked like about there's too many question marks. There's no clear-cut answer as to this. These 10 things have to go right for them to have success. Well, that's probably not going to happen. That's probably not going to happen. And like I was saying earlier.
And the pressure's on. When have they ever performed when the fans and the pressure is put on? They always blow it. Do you remember a few years ago when John Tavares signed? We did a podcast and we were angry. They went into Long Island. Everybody was talking about it. You got to win this one for Johnny. The fans are booing him, calling him Pajama Boy. What was the score? 6-0?
Oh, they got smoked.
They just went and hid. Game 7s, they don't show up. The pressure's on. This season, out of the gate, this isn't just like a little slump where the fans are waiting. Like you said, the heat is on.
Because it's a carryover. It's a carryover.
But are these the guys that are going to, tune out everything around them and turn it around? Or is this just going to keep spiraling and spiraling and spiraling till finally Dubas has got to be like, I got to do something?
It's a loser mentality. It's so ingrained in them now. The Montreal loss, being up 3-1, losing in game 7 the way they did, it was an epic collapse of epic proportions, horrendous loss. That's still in their heads, guaranteed. But then
how does that translate to a game like last night?
Well, but I'm just saying, just the whole start here, like it's starting to pile up, and it's getting, the weight on the back is getting real heavy
to the point where they can't beat an AHL roster.
To a point where I think they don't think they can win. Do they come out and say that? No, they're going to say the right things.
They're going on the ice last night against Pittsburgh being like, we can't do it.
I don't know about that.
Or do you think it's more Pittsburgh scores the first goal, takes it to them for the first 10 minutes, and they're like, fuck, here we go again. We're going to blow it.
Maybe. Once they get down and once it's just not there, like it's not their night. It's not their night a lot of fucking nights. So when it's not your night, bring something else to the table to try to fucking do something to help the team win. Don't just fucking give up and fucking fold it. Oh, well, not our night. We'll see you tomorrow. Like, just good teams don't fucking do that. And I'm sorry. Look, I don't see it. Like the Montreal loss in the playoffs, horrendous. Up 3-1, blowing it. The Columbus loss, forcing it into game 5, losing like 3-0. I don't think they scored a fucking goal in the elimination game. The year before that, the Boston Bruins, they were up 3-2 in that series. They find a way to lose. They had a lead in game 6 of that series. They find a way to lose game 6. Then they lose game 7. The year before that, Boston again. They had a lead in the 3rd period against the Bruins. They find a fucking way to lose that. So it's one after another, after another, after another. Eventually, it's like, okay, no wonder the fan base is like, it's not 6. It's not about 6 fucking games in the new season. It's about all this shit.
Yeah.
With the same fucking guys, the same core fucking guys that have proven time after time after time after time, they can't fucking win when it counts. So Dubas didn't change that. Oh, Nick Ritchie, great fucking job. Hey, Cachet looks good. Camp looks good.
But still, you had guys just as good as them that you had to get rid of to sign these 4 guys.
100%, man.
Michael Bunting is great.
But bringing in those guys.
I would much rather have Zach Hyman on the team. I would much rather have Connor Brown still on the team. I think that's a recipe for winning. But you're sticking, like you said, to these guys who can't get it done. And here we are. Right. It's not 6 games. The fans aren't fucking throwing jerseys on the ice because you lost against San Jose on a Friday night.
Although that did happen.
I know, but I'm saying that fan didn't throw that jersey on the ice because of a bad loss. That fan is just what you ranted about. That fan is going all the way back to the Boston playoff series, and they're just like, fuck this. Like, fuck this, man. They can't do it. And just, we're not far away from the Eggos, from the Waffles coming back.
And that's right. Wafflegate 2.
It won't take much. This is a fragile fan base.
Look,
right
they're
now.
They're going next 3 games. Okay, they're on the road right now. Good thing they're on the fucking road. Good thing that Monday game's not back at home because the Boo Birds would be out in full fucking force. They got Columbus, who's 4-0. Sorry, not Columbus. They're in Carolina Monday night, who's 4-0, playing Freddie Anderson. I would almost guarantee a fucking loss on Monday night. I would almost guarantee it. Because want to know why? Carolina's a better fucking hockey team than the Leafs. They work harder. The Leafs barely ever fucking work. So I'm putting a loss on the fucking column right there.
And Freddie will be top game to play his old team.
100%. So, and then they got Chicago. You mentioned Chicago not playing that great, but United Center, a hard building to play in. And I bet you Mark Fleury just probably has a fucking his best game of the season against the Leafs on Wednesday or Thursday.
Or Chicago just reads the book and it's like, hey, if we just come out and work really hard, these guys will quit. They'll give up.
Would not be surprised if they lose that Chicago game either. You're back home on Saturday night against Detroit, okay? I'm maybe they win that game, but I'm not fucking convinced.
Montreal kind of got a little bit of life put back in them by playing Detroit last night.
But I was saying to somebody the other day, like it's literally like even when you're playing Buffalo and Detroit and these teams that like you think like aren't good, they'll beat you. They will fucking just clear cut, come out, outwork you, and fucking beat you.
Yeah.
So you can't take it. There's no nice off.
Keith said it in his press conference last night. He's like, you can't You can't take any team lightly in the NHL. If you cut corners, they will beat you. They will outwork you and they will beat you. And he's like, this team is cutting corners right now. They're trying to do the easy. They're trying to do the easy things to win. They don't want to do the hard things to win. And the other team's like, we'll do the hard things. And they're winning.
So depending on where they end up with these next 3 games, Carolina, in Chicago, back home against Detroit next Saturday night. Depending on what happens this week, if Marner continues to struggle, if the team continues to struggle, reading the temperature with Mitch Marner right now with the fan base, dude, how far away are we from Mitch Marner getting booed at home every time he touches the puck? And I'm being dead serious. We're not far from that, are we?
We are not far. There are a lot of Marner haters right now, like huge, more than I have ever seen.
He's taken it more than since like Dion. Is that comparable, or is this worse than that even?
I think it's worse because, like, I don't know, the team sucked and Dion was the captain, so he just kind of had to face the media and he kind of took the brunt of it. But Marner, it's different, man. There is like a hate because, as we listened to in that post-game clip, it's the attitude. It's like the attitude of the player and the mentality of the core versus the fans who are so desperate to have a hard-working winning team. Like, do you want to know why? You want to know why Michael Bunting instantly became like a fan favorite?
Because he tries.
He tries. That's it.
Jesus
That's it.
Christ.
He goes to the net and he tries. He's not afraid to take a hit. Do you want to know why we love Wayne Simmons? Because Wayne Simmons, if the going gets tough, he sticks up for his team and he gets in there. Darcy Tucker, you can go back and look at Leaf players throughout history. The ones that we love are the hardest workers. Dougie Gilmore, Wendell Clark, Darcy Tucker, Shane Corson. You go through the list. It's all guys that just gave it every night. They emptied the tank every single night.
100%.
And that's all the fans want from these guys. And they've got their backs against the wall and they've got their backs up like, yo, trust the process. Okay, we've got this. It's cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not far off.
Fan base, no, and we're not far off. Like I would honestly say, depending on how this week goes, as early as next Saturday, October 30th, at home against Detroit, depending on how this week goes, if it looks like last week and the week before that, I can see it, man. Because the temperature is so fucking hot with Mitch Marner right now. I can see it. Like he's getting to a point where either he's got to figure this fucking thing out, or he's out of here. Like we're getting real close to that.
Yeah.
Like once you start getting booed at home, there's not a lot you can do to come back from that.
No.
Like really. Like once the fans decide like you're not our guy anymore, it's hard to come back from that.
Yeah. It is. And you know, it's funny. It sucks that this is how it is in the salary cap era, because there was a time without a salary cap that we didn't give a shit what players made, you remember like before the cap when the New York Rangers spent more than they spend today.
Of course.
And they just stacked the team with Yager and Lindros and everything. Nobody gave a shit.
No.
It's Rangers money. It didn't matter.
But in the salary, Leafs used to spend over probably 80 million, 100 million before the salary cap.
The Leafs salary budget in like 2002 is as much as it is today.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. I don't know if that's actually true, but you know what I mean?
No, I think it is. I think it's
crazy. But my point is,
it was spread out more, but like, yeah.
Yeah, but they could just.
They had a bunch of guys making a lot of money.
They could just buy players.
Right.
You just, hey, you want to come play in Toronto? We'll give you double what they're. And nobody gave a shit. It was Toronto's money. The only people that gave a shit were the poor teams because they couldn't afford to do it. So then we got the salary cap put in. But my point is, because of this salary cap, what you make and how you negotiate your contract becomes like a soft spot for fans. If you are like Tampa and nobody makes more than Kucherov and guys are signing these really good deals, oh man, the fans love you. Marner really, really took a dig in his own sort of brand in Toronto.
Yeah, he fucked himself royally.
When he drew the line in the sand and said, I want Austin Matthews money, it started to snowball from there. So I will not be surprised if this guy gets booed. If things continue down this road.
It's absolutely coming.
And it sucks that what he makes should have anything to do with it. But in the salary cap world,
you are bang on with the money aspect, because that's it. If Mitch made
If he took a discount, if he's
If
like,
he made-
I
if
just
he
want to
made
make
8 million,
6 million. Yeah.
Yeah, 8 mil. Let's go with 8 even. Just straight up 8 or 7.9. Like
So 1 million,
Nylander.
1 million more
Six-
than Nylander. He's
Right,
like,
there you go.
we'd be like, fine.
Well, I don't know. Fine. I'd still have an issue with
No, but
the way he's playing.
no, but
and
at
the
the
way
time, you wouldn't have made a big deal about him.
Probably not,
You'd be
because
like,
I think
oh,
that's
yeah.
closer to where he should be anyway. But, he held the gun to their head for every fucking cent, and Dubas, folded and was like, okay,
Yeah, and
you got it.
he's
You're
just
my boy, Blue.
Dubas is just as much to blame for this mess as them.
I feel bad for Kyle in a way because look, man,
Not me, man.
I do in a way because he went to bat for these guys again and again and
But
again.
you saw it coming. You saw this coming. I saw this coming.
Of course, man. We were Pulp Fiction this fucking thing a month ago.
Dude gets paid a lot of money to see this coming. So I wouldn't feel bad for him.
No, but just in the way that like he was so reluctant to trade Mitch or trade Willie or whoever, probably Mitch really is the guy who's on the hot seat. It's Mitch. If anybody's going, it's Mitch. I don't know if you can trade that contract. I think you probably can, but I'm not sure really. It's a lot of fucking money in a flat cap, but like just the reluctancy to move off of my guys. Like I'm speaking in regards to Kyle Dubas. These are my guys. I believe they can win. Well, why the fuck would you think that, Kyle? What have they ever done to fucking give you that impression? Like, have they done anything to give you the behind the scenes? Like what is there even to like about their attitude? Fucking sucks. Like, let's be serious here. Like the core guys, like I like Nylander as a player, but he doesn't have the best fucking like attitude around. He's kind of just leave me alone, nonchalant. Like I got this. Like, don't worry about it.
Tavares has a good attitude.
He says the right things, but his play seems to be slipping too. Like
His play seems to be slipping, but
Tavares plays hard.
He hits me as the type of guy who, like, he'll take this to heart. He'll do what it takes to win. Like, he really, really wants to win. But the other guys, you're right. It doesn't really feel that way.
A lot of nonchalant with Mitch and with Austin. That's my personal opinion. Like, you look at a guy like Taves and you look at a guy like McKinnon and you look at these guys who, like, they would basically kill to fucking win a Stanley Cup. We don't have that. With these guys. We don't. Skilled as fuck, but right now their skill isn't even fucking coming to the fucking forefront. Spets has got, I had it in front of me now. I don't know. Spets has got more points than, I know Matthews has only played 2 games, whatever.
Doesn't matter, man.
No, I know. But he's only played 2 games, but Mitch has played all 6. He's got 1 assist. I don't know what Spets has got. He's got, I think, 3 goals. Spets has got 5 or 6 points, I believe. Mitch has 1 assist. So what is that telling you? When fucking
Mitch makes 11 times more than
league minimum.
You know what I mean?
Spets is playing not for the money. He's playing because he wants to win a fucking cup before he can't play anymore. Like, I don't know, man. It's so fucking frustrating, and I just can't believe that it gets more frustrating. Like, we were talking leading up to the season, like, okay, Mitch, come out and show us. We're like, we hated that fucking loss to the Montreal Canadiens, but we're like, we're Leafs fans. Let's see what's up. Come out and show us. Show us. Don't say it. Show us. Yeah. Do it. And that's just not there.
They say all the right things, but they're not doing any of the right things.
To me, Mitch isn't even saying the right things. I cannot. He's becoming more.
Last night he didn't, but before, that's what you expect him to say. Like after the San Jose loss, to be like, it's not going in for me, but I'm going to keep working. Okay,
but Chad, even going back to the Montreal playoff loss, he didn't own it after that. He was the worst Leaf player in that series. He didn't own it. He zero accountability. Zero. Go back and listen to that. We're not going to put this in, but go back and listen to his post game after the Montreal series. Him and Austin. Mitch was like basically like, they didn't own it. And I hate that. I absolutely hate that because like if they're really thinking like, well, it's not my fault. It's not on me here. Well, yeah, it kind of is. Not just you, but you're a big fucking part of it because you're making all the fucking money. So you can't afford to fucking make the team better because you guys took all the fucking money. Like, there's a reason why we are where we are here.
Yeah, we could have way more depth if you guys didn't make all the money. But
if it was spread out a little bit more, that's what she said.
That is what she said. But you're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right.
I'm sorry. I'm pissed off, as you can tell here.
Yeah, and
But
they could
it's
go
just-
out and win in Carolina.
Okay, great. Good
on
for
Monday
them.
night.
Good
and
for
then,
them. That's not going to excuse what just happened fucking this weekend.
No, it's not going to excuse it, but Marner
They're
could have
gonna win.
4
They're gonna
points.
win.
Austin could have a hat trick.
Great. They're going to win games, Chad. I don't give a fuck if they win games. Like how many times have we said the regular season doesn't mean shit? This team does not have it. Do they? Is this a winning fucking team?
There is nothing they've shown me so far that tells me they do.
Exactly. You see that changing with the same group of fucking characters? Because I fucking sure as hell don't.
No,
I'm sorry, man.
I mean, the Leaf fan in me wants to believe that they got it and they're going to flick a switch and turn it on. But every time I turn the corner, they're doing the thing that losers do, that losing teams do.
If you could trade Mitch Marner tomorrow for whatever, I don't know what, just to give it a different look, just to send a fucking wake-up call. Hey, boys, this isn't acceptable, and we're not fucking doing it anymore. Things are fucking changing. We're taking your little buddy away, and we're going to play a lot fucking harder fucking style. If you could trade him tomorrow morning, would you do it? Clear the cap space. I don't know what you're getting back. We could figure that out at a later date. Clear the cap space, move on from Mitch, try to play the skilled fucking like puck possession. We're going a different fucking direction because this shit ain't fucking working.
Would I do it?
Yeah.
Jeez. I don't know,
Are
man.
you ready to call it? Are you ready to call it with Mitch? Or you still want to fucking hold Mitch's hand and hope he fucking figures it out?
I don't want to hold Mitch's hand and hope. I don't want to baby him anymore, but I don't want to trade him. I basically just want him to grow up and show me. But you're right. The only thing is trading him. That is the only way out of it. Because you can tell him all you want. And we've seen Keefe calling out Marner and Matthews in post-game interviews. He did it after the San Jose game. We've seen like management sort of putting the heat on the Stars in their responses and stuff. But they, like you say, they just keep coming out and saying the same thing. It's not our fault. It's not us. We're doing what we got to do. It'll start going in. We'll start scoring. So, yeah, I don't want to trade him because I think he's a great player. But at the same time, I want to win.
Okay, well,
and if they're not winning, then I got to try. That was the great thing about, if you look at the great GMs like Lou Lamoriello. Do you remember Lou Lamoriello? He'd wake up one morning and be like, I'm going to trade one of the best players because it's just not working. I'm going to fire my coach 2 weeks before the playoffs, even though we're like first place in our division, because I don't think he's the right coach to win the cup. That coach takes him and wins the cup. Dubas, he's never going to do that. He's never going to be like that, man.
Okay, so then my response to that, my own question is, I would trade Mitch Marner as quickly as possible. Now I'm starting to think they should have did it in the summertime because if they go on to start killing it and Mitch finds his game and he takes it to a different level, but finding Mitch's game for me isn't good enough because you're not going to win with that. The reason why I'm so pissed at Mitch and so pissed about this situation is he needed to play a different way. He needed to take it to a different level, a different style, try to get inside, not, maybe a more physical, a harder style game. That clearly is not him. It probably will never be him.
No, it'll never be him.
So you're not going to win with a guy like that. I don't believe Mitch will help you when you need him the most. So if I could find a dance partner, I am moving on from that $11 million. I'm moving on from Morgan Riley's fucking money. I'm trying to bring in 2 more stay-at-home defensemen. Rasmus Sandin can be our offensive defenseman.
A goalie so that we never have to see Hutch again. The Hutch experiment is over.
Okay, they tried. I know, but Mrazek and Campbell, they tried with that, but I get.
But Mrazek's injury prone.
No,
go out and get like a solid goalie. If you have the money, you could do it. You probably could have kept Freddie Anderson if you had the cap space to do it. Anyway, let's
Dubas isn't going to do that. Just before we wrap it up here, Dubas. Wrap up the Mitch Marner thing. Dubas, clearly, we already know where he's at here. I highly doubt he's going to flick a switch tomorrow and be like, okay, now I'm trading Mitch Marner.
No.
He's going to see how it plays out, and he's going to give these guys a chance to figure it out. I don't believe they're going to figure it out. And
he's not going to pull the trigger 6 games in.
No. And you could see if this keeps trending the way it's trending, you could very easily see Kyle Dubas fired by Christmas. It would not surprise me in the fucking least.
We're going to get into that. We're going to take a short break. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about if it keeps rolling down the mountain, where's Kyle Dubas' job come Christmas time, come the spring. We're also going to get into some other things. Stick around. You're listening to the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast.
Chad, what's the matter?
Well, Dale, I guess I've just been feeling a little down, because I love podcasting, but I find there's something missing. There's got to be something else that I love other than just podcasting.
Chad, wipe those tears away. There's only 2 things I know how to do. I never get down. I love podcasts just as much as you. The second thing I love is porn, but not just any porn, specifically Brazzers.com.
Brazzers.com?
That's right, Brazzers.com.
What is it?
Take a little sneak peek at Brazzers.com. Why don't you bring it up right now?
I can't look at this on my computer. Is there any way I could watch it in private on my phone?
Absolutely. Privacy settings galore. Brazzers.com has all your pornography needs.
Well, this is great. I am so much happier now. Brazzers.com. Thanks, Dale.
You're welcome, Chad. Brazzers.com.
All right, welcome back to the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. Once again, don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast, on Twitter at the Tip In podcast, and check out our YouTube channel at the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. Hit like, hit subscribe. We post clips and full episodes. So if you just want to hear a little segment that we talked about, or you want to listen to the whole episode on YouTube, you can check it out there. But let's get back. We were talking about Mitch Marner. It got heated. Talking about the attitude of this team. It got heated. Let's go back to Friday night against San Jose when Keefe was doing his post-game press conference. We're going to play the clip. And somebody asked him about Nick Ritchie. Let's play that clip right now.
How do you work the lazy play out of Ritchie's game right now?
It's not an appropriate question. There's nothing about Ritchie's game that's lazy. He's finding his way.
Just getting to the when he fenced after the Carlson goal, there wasn't much of an effort on his part to cover that man. It just seemed to be, the Carlson goal from the blue line.
Again, it's not an appropriate question. I mean, it's a turnover. It's a turnover. He's trying to hold the lane. Mitch is beat on the inside, and the puck goes on the other side. I think we're reaching there.
All right, let me ask this way, Sean. Okay.
You can not reach?
No, what led to the benching then of Nick Ritchie? Why did you look at that and say he needs to set the bench for a bit?
Well, I think you're looking at it the wrong way. We get scored on. It was more to me about the fact that line wasn't going today. You should be asking as many questions about Matthews and Marner today as you should be Rich.
So as you can tell, Keefe gets asked about Nick Ritchie because Nick Ritchie's been terrible.
Okay, well, the questions are, he's been more than terrible. The questions, this one reporter, I don't know who it was, actually. I could not make
out. It was the Toronto Sun guy, Terry Koshin.
Was it? Okay, so to me, I thought they were valid questions. He's talking about Ritchie's lazy play to an extent where Sheldon Keefe, the last 2 games.
That's why he brought it up.
I know. And especially.
He's like, you put him on the 4th line.
Not only that, before that, he sat him down for half a period. He didn't even take a fucking shift before he ended up making his way to the 4th line for the 3rd period, playing with Spets and Simmons. So I thought those questions were valid. Sheldon was like, I think you're asking the wrong questions.
Yeah, as you can hear, he says inappropriate question.
Inappropriate.
And
no,
then
I think it's a
I thought it was an appropriate question too.
Very appropriate.
But then
question.
He diverts it into putting the spotlight on Marner Matthews. What do you think about that?
Okay, well, he's deflecting here, trying to take, he knows Ritchie's not playing well, hence he benched him, and then he put him on the fucking 4th line. So what's Sheldon doing blowing off the reporter's question about Ritchie when, clearly Sheldon can see it. He's not fucking stupid. He benched him, and then he put him on the 4th line. So just to answer the fucking question honestly, okay, you don't want to throw your guy under the bus? Fair enough. But then he went on to say, like you just said, he said, if you're going to talk about Ritchie that way, you might as well say the same thing about Mitch and Austin. Okay, well, yeah, okay, maybe that is fair. Maybe. Like, yeah. Have they done much more? No. It's been a smaller sample size with Austin Matthews, only 2 games. It's been 6 games for Mitch and for Rich.
But he didn't bench Austin and Mitch. Like,
No,
the
well,
question
Jesus
came
Christ.
because we all saw that Nick Ritchie was sitting on the bench. They called it out on the television broadcast that he hadn't taken a shift since like the 4-minute mark of the second period.
Yeah. So,
And he just asked him, he's like, he hasn't looked good and looked lazy. I don't know. Keeps trying. I thought Keith's post game last night was better when he said about the job now is to get the group in the room to believe again.
Oh, good luck. Good luck with that.
Because he's like, the mood is bad. And I love when he said, someone said, what did you think about the game tonight? He said, I have a lot of thoughts, many of them not good.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. So look, like 2-3-1. We'll see where this goes, okay? And we briefly kind of touched on Dubas, like, you know, does he get the axe before Christmas? I think it's unlikely, but if this continues, what if they go 2-10? Or so what if they go 2-8 in their next 10 games? Something's got to give.
Yeah, they'd be if they're not clearly scratching at a playoff spot by American Thanksgiving, I mean, that's always a sign that you're probably not going to make the playoffs. Like, you'd have to go on a
100%.
hell of a run to really make the playoffs at that point.
Yep.
And if that's the case, I think he still has the bullet in his chamber where he could trade one of the big boys to save his job.
But do you think he won't do that?
No, but can you really picture Shanahan firing Dubas?
I can.
It's his guy too, right?
I know, but maybe it should be just fucking kill the 3-headed monster, all fucking 3 of them.
But don't you think Dubas does have that? Like, if push came to shove and his job was on the line, he can make the case, hey, let me fix the team.
Okay. Yeah.
Let me fix it. Let me get rid of one of the core guys and let me fix the team.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. I think.
Do you give him that chance, or are you like, no, I'll have someone else fix the team?
I don't know. You kind of created the mess with giving the big contracts, and now you have to sign guys like Richie who can't play and fucking, you know, surround the rest of the roster out with guys that, you know, really aren't. Well, I shouldn't even say that because Camp and Cachet and Simmons and Spezza, they've outplayed the top guys. So honestly, the secondary guys have outplayed the top guys. It's the top guys that are the problem right now.
Dubas has actually done a pretty good job at finding bargain bin contracts.
For the most part, you're not going to hit on everybody.
No, you're not going to hit.
No,
but if this core does not put it into high gear and soon, man.
Okay, so what happens first then? Shanahan fires Dubas, or Shanny says, Kyle, this ain't working. Shake it up.
I think the shake it up is the first thing. I think he gives him a chance to,
like, Shanny would basically say to him, Kyle, I know these are your guys. It's not working. You have to shake it up. Like, basically forcing his hand, like, this isn't going to work. You have to shake it up. You have to.
Yeah, I think Shanahan should meet. If I was Shanahan, I would meet with Dubas. I would meet with Keefe, the coaching staff, everybody. And I'd say, as president of this organization, it is clear that this isn't working. So either you find a way to make it work by this date, you know, by Christmas time. If we're not in a playoff spot, something's got to give. All right. If you guys don't want to work here anymore, or if you want to find a way to make this team better, I'm leaving it up to you. And if Dubas just wants to live and die by these guys, then he'll take the axe.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll see. That should be interesting to keep tabs on. We'll see where it goes. We'll see if their level of play continues the way it is. If it ends up getting better, we'll see what happens. And they need to be much, much better. But I will just say this as to why I'm not convinced, because we've seen it before. It's fucking Groundhog Day, brother. It is fucking Bill Murray all over this fucking bitch.
Love that movie.
Here, look, just can't win a puck battle. Cannot win a puck battle if their life depended on it. To a man, cannot win a fucking puck battle.
Strike one.
They look completely uninterested. This does not look like a team that suffered their worst playoff loss yet against Montreal. They come in 6 games. You'd think they'd come in fucking like with something to prove. They look completely fucking uninterested. Okay.
Strike two. And the fans have been amazing this year to have them back in the building. Like, what do you need to get a jump?
I
get
did
a jump.
Dude. Like, I didn't go down like the block shots and the hits in the last 3 games. I'm not going to do it right now. I could though, but I'm sure you won't be surprised with me saying this. They were out hit and the other team had more block shots in every single fucking game. So that brings me here then. You got anything? I'm going to go here.
Go ahead.
No jam. Staying to the outsides, not going to the fucking net. Okay. Alex Kerfoot, Nick Ritchie.
Ugh.
$3.5 million for Kerf, $2.5 million for Ritchie. They both have a year left on their fucking contracts. I'm not a mathematician here, but I'm pretty sure that's $6 million between the two of them. Guess who signed for just less than $6 million?
Zach Hyman.
Guess where Zach Hyman's numbers are at right now? The Edmonton Oilers are 5-0. Zach Hyman has 5 goals and 1 assist in 5 fucking games with the Edmonton Oilers, okay? You're telling me right now you wouldn't fucking bounce Kerfoot and bounce fucking Ritchie and give that fucking money just to fucking Zach Hyman alone?
They made a trade with Pittsburgh and gave away prospects just to keep Kerfoot. Like, they didn't want the Kraken to take Kerfoot. If I could go back in time, I would have a big fucking Christmas ribbon on Kerfoot sitting at my front step for the Kraken to just come and take him away.
See it, Kerf. And I know Kerf had a good playoffs against the Habs, but not good enough for me to keep him at $3.5 million fucking dollars.
He was -4 last night in the Pittsburgh game.
God.
-4.
Like, just think of how crazy that is. Kerfoot and Ritchie, gone. Hyman stays. Just that simple thing. Because I'm going to tell you right now, when Zach, what is this team? When Zach Hyman, we talked about this on previous podcasts too. Like, when Hyman when he ended up signing with Edmonton, what did I say right away? Your heart and soul just walked out the fucking door.
Yeah. And honestly,
you see any heart and soul here other than 38-year-old fucking Jason Spezza and their goalie?
And he's already, if you watch the Oilers games, because I've been keeping an eye on them because of Hyman, he's already a fan favorite in Edmonton.
How could he not? How could he not
fucking
be?
love him. He's doing exactly what he did in Toronto.
The guy gives it not only every night, every fucking time he's on the ice.
Every shift.
They are
every shift.
The Leafs are missing Zach Hyman. Huge.
Yeah.
Huge. I'm sorry. Like, I just found a way to have Zach Hyman stay in the fold. You bounce Kerfoot to fucking Seattle like they should have fucking done. You don't even sign Ritchie. There's Hyman's money right fucking there. He's not worth the money. Fuck off with that fucking shit. Give me a break. 5 goals, 1 assist in his fucking first 5 games with Edmonton. And
well, I think they were looking at the long term.
He plays with heart okay. Will Hyman tail off? Maybe, but their window to win is the next 3 fucking years.
Yeah, it's true.
So fuck, man. They missed the boat on Zach Hyman. I'm sorry. He was the heart and soul of this fucking team. Left the day Zach Hyman fucking signed with the Edmonton
Last
Oilers.
season, what did they do if they wanted to get a line going? They put Hyman on the wing.
Everywhere.
Matthews and Martin weren't going. Put Hyman up there.
Most versatile.
Tavares and Nylander aren't going. Put Hyman there.
I'm finding a way to bounce those fucking guys, whether it's to the Marlies, whether it's trading Kerfoot, whatever the case may be. Kerfoot is not on this team for me, and neither is fucking Nick Ritchie. I'm sorry. Like, I know it's early, but I'm sorry. That's where I'm at. Here's what my lineup would look like as soon as Mikheyev is healthy. Here it is. Top line, Mitch, Austin, Willie. That's it. Done. I'm loading up one big line with my fucking top 3 guys, apparently, whatever. Austin Matthews, Willie Nylander, Mitch Marner. Second line, Tavares, Bunting, Ho-Sang. You know where I'm at with Josh Ho-Sang? I'm bringing him up because he's an energy guy too. He's similar to Bunting. He's kind of like got a bit of Mitch in him where he's kind of more of a setup guy. But in the preseason when Tavares played with Bunting and Ho-Sang, I like to look at that. So Bunting won't cheat you on effort, and neither will Ho-Sang. So there it is. Tavares, Bunting, Ho-Sang. My third line, Cache, Camp, Mikheyev. And my fourth line is Spezza with Simmons and Gabriel. Tell me that fucking lineup will not bring you more than what you're getting right fucking now.
like, I get what you're saying. At this point, what have you got to lose?
I'm basically taking Kerfoot out. I'm taking Richie out. I'm loading up the top line with Matthews, Marner, and Nylander. I'm giving Ho-Sang a shot with Tavares and Bunting, Mikheyev, Cache, Camp, Gabriel, Spezza, Simmons. That's how I would do it right now. Am I like, is that a look that you would?
Yeah, I would totally go for that. Totally go for that.
Does that make sense though? Or do you think I'm crazy for like, is that like, I'm taking Kerfoot and Richie out. That's $6 million, man.
Yeah, but $6 million, it isn't giving you anything. So why not?
And I guess I'm taking Engvall out too, because.
Yeah, well, Engvall is what Engvall is, right?
I don't know. Like,
so yeah, any changes is good right now. But I think what we should do is, I mean, last night was the tipping point for a lot of Leaf fans. That game in Pittsburgh was the tipping point. It pushed people over the edge. People are coming out with the pitchforks. They want change and everything. I'm going to go with, let's give a little more time. Not with this lineup, but let's see what happens over the next couple games. If things keep snowballing and losing, I mean, next weekend we are going to have a time on this podcast.
Oh boy. Happy Halloween, motherfuckers.
Happy Halloween. But anyway,
next weekend, happy Halloween.
Next weekend, happy Halloween. Let's wrap it up. It was a shitty week in Leafland, but
absolute shit show.
Let's see what happens. We got a week full of games here. Next weekend, we'll either be back here bitching and moaning and complaining again, or we'll be talking about, hey, there might be light at the end of the tunnel. We don't know. We will find out. For the Tippin' Maple Leafs podcast, don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the Tippin' Maple Leafs podcast, on Twitter at the Tippin' Podcast. Check out our YouTube page at the Tippin' Maple Leaf Podcast. Hit like and subscribe. We have a website, tippinsportsmedia.com. Also, we have now a Patreon page, which you can donate money as little as a cup of coffee to Chad and Dale so that we can reinvest in the podcast to bring you more frequent episodes and better audio recording. So you can check us out at patreon.com/the Tippin Podcast. And until next week, and hopefully a win along the way, I'm Chad.
I'm Dale.
And we will
go Oilers. Catch you later.